This is Average Sports.
By your average guys.
Eric.
And Ty. That would be so bad.
Yeah. This is Average Sports.
Your average sports.
Average Sports.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of
You're listening to Average Sports with your average guys.
Average Sports, average guys, Eric and Ty.
And just like that, a few days go by and we are back. It's Average Sports with your average guys, Eric and Ty.
Here for another week.
That's
guys,
right.
I'm excited.
Are you?
You know why?
No.
You know what episode this is? This is episode Mr. Worldwide. Mr. 305.
Man.
Oh, man, I know. We're going to keep it short today for you folks because we had a really long episode last week or last time out. And we are going to do...
We're going to keep it tight.
Our awesome March Madness special coming out right after Selection Sunday. We'll put an episode out so you guys can listen to that. It's Ty's favorite episode.
It really is.
Of the year.
I love it.
So let's jump right into it. Butthole in sports. Ty.
Wow.
What did I put up there? I just want to know your thoughts after reading the comments before we talk about it really quick.
Jumping right into it. Someone put a little oil in your fire, Eric. You were just
fire.
Yeah. You are selecting the XFL officiating supervisor of the Seattle Dragons team versus, you're going to have to help me with this. It's new Houston Roughnecks. Okay.
Yeah.
Getting that individual's getting reassigned, I see.
He is.
It says ... read statement.
Yeah, I mean, it's a full statement. So essentially what happened is there was a majorly missed call that happened on fourth down. It would have made it 4th and 2 and a turnover. Or on a 4th and 2, they missed it. Turned over to Seattle Dragons. Instead, they let the game run out. What it says is that official supervisor, Wes Booker, has been reassigned after Saturday's game in mishap. So the XFL openly admitted that they got the call wrong. So kudos on them.
Yeah.
But the butthole in sports this week is Mr. Wes Booker.
Okay.
So on to the next.
Bummer, Booker.
Yep.
Well, about a week recap. What else has been happening in sports? The Blues. We've talked
Blues
about
had
them
a huge win streak, man.
It's for the second time this season.
Third.
I think. Oh, the third time.
Third time this season they've had more than 7 wins.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the second time they had an
win streak.
8.
Second 8.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Team.
Yeah.
But
so when they're down, they're definitely not out because they may just come right back and
they do that a lot.
Yeah, we'll have the Lightning standings featuring the NHL a little later in this episode. But also some spring training's been going on.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it.
I'm sure you're excited
I'm getting
about
updates every time that the Orioles win and the Cardinals lose. I get an update from Eric.
That was one time.
No, it was twice.
And it was only because the Cardinals were playing the Astros.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I sent it to you.
Okay.
I was just rubbing it in that you hate the cheaters.
Yeah. Have you seen anything in spring training or anything?
God, no. I don't watch spring training.
It doesn't really count.
I can't handle it, dude. I can't handle it.
But if I had a pair of free tickets to go to spring training, you would go.
Does that include the plane flight?
Everything. Just say it's, we're going to send you down to Florida.
Well, that just sounds like a vacation then.
No, you're going to the games, though. That's it. You're going.
That's fine. I'm not paying for it. I'll go.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not spending my own hard-earned money to go down there. It's ridiculous.
No, it'd be cool, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful.
MLS has been going on, too. I actually watched some of an Atlanta game recently. They were playing the inaugural game in Nashville, Predators. That was actually pretty exciting. I got to see Predators' first goal. If anyone else is watching that was just like about a week ago.
Oh, cool.
It was pretty neat to see. Yeah. So happy to see one of the franchise teams, back on the pitch.
Yeah.
They're going. They're moving.
Good stuff.
Be exciting to follow the 2020 MLS season for sure.
Excellent.
Anything else? I mean, like Eric said, for the next episode, we're going to do an off-cycle episode. So in just another week, we'll do that selection Sunday and do a tournament bracket pick.
That's right.
Episode. So not going to focus on NCAA. So I'm sure anyone listening in is going, well, there were some basketball games, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, the only basketball games we're talking about
started.
is NBA, which, is heating up for sure.
Yeah.
These teams are starting to vie for their playoff spots. But let's get into the topic of this episode. Eric, you picked a decent one here. I'd like to get into this.
It's a rehash of an old episode we had in season 2. It was one of my favorite topics to discuss, and it was approximately about this time last year that we did this same exact episode. And it is the best markets in the United States for sports. So the best major sports markets. Last time when we did this topic, though, we cut out certain markets because it was just too easy.
Okay.
Like, because no mid-tier market, such as a Pittsburgh or even a Philly, Dallas, Oakland, like Atlanta, like those cities would not have had a chance against the major markets, which are obviously Boston, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and I mean, you could probably throw DC in there with.
You think DC?
How many people live there? You almost kind of have
to.
Okay.
I am a little surprised, though, you didn't fit Miami in there. You did not give them the cut. There's a lot of sports down there, but there's
a lot of sports
because
down there,
it depends on the sport. I don't
consider them a major sports market.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Plus, the Panthers don't play in Miami. So I think we did qualify that they have to have all four major sports. And while Miami's a good sports market, they have a lot of good college sports. And that really helps float their boat with, like,
so let's work on those 5 cities, though. Yeah. You mentioned New York, Boston, Chicago, LA, and DC. Boy, it really depends. I could pick any one of those cities and go, that's the town I'd want to see this sport. Like LA, for me, I'm going to a Lakers game.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I would want to go to a Lakers game.
I don't care about seeing the Rams game. I don't care about seeing a Chargers game. I might want to see a MLS game, but honestly, I might be more interested in going somewhere else.
Galaxy, or LA Sporting. I don't know.
They have
a second team. Yeah, I know the Galaxy for sure.
Yeah,
For Dodgers, I'd want to go see a game at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
And for sure, Lakers.
Yeah.
They also have the Clippers. They have the Angels as well, too. So, I mean, they have double dips in those sports.
But going back to okay, hang on. So let's not focus up too much on one city. So my point is that you can look at really any city and say you might want to pick a sport. So should we really look at this as what sport is, like which is the best city for which sport, or what's just then all-encompassing?
All-encompassing as a totality.
You know what?
Major focus on the sports
on
teams.
those 5.
And, you have to include the fans in there.
Yeah.
Now, but that can't be a major factor. I mean, if you broke it down, I would want it to be, of the actual sports in the market and whatnot, 85-90%.
It's easy to,
fans
when
get a
you
small portion.
Okay, when you hear one of those cities, what's the imagery that comes to mind? New York is known for so many things.
Yeah.
And part of that might be sports, but that's not what New York is necessarily known for. They've probably had just as many teams move out of New York as they currently have. You know what I mean? Like they've had fluctuation. That's not necessarily going to be accurate, but they've had teams move. But to me, on that point, I'm looking at Boston and Chicago.
I would agree.
When you hear those towns,
I was down to those
think,
two as well.
Whoa, sports. Yeah, for sure. I do want to see a Cubs game. I would want to go see a Fenway or a game at Fenway. And those fans are really passionate, as we know. Now, yes, they are in LA. Yes, they are in New York. And, of course, now in DC, after winning a couple of titles in the last, 5 years, they won a cup and a World Series.
And that was where I leaned. When I finished on this, I leaned, really focusing on the sports aspect of it, the quality of the sports that they bring to the table, which has to include championships. And when you look at the last decade or two, unfortunately, as much as I,
to your chagrin,
city, it's Boston.
Okay.
It just has to be. I mean, we all know the Patriots and how good they've been, regardless of whatever controversies there. The Boston Red Sox, since 2004, have won several World Series.
Yeah.
The Bruins have won Stanley Cup in that time frame and been to more than that as well, too. And the Celtics have won a championship, too. And they also have a soccer team out there as well, too.
Any real success, though? I haven't actually followed much of Boston.
I don't know how
Boston
successful
soccer
they are.
But to your point, like, you can go see a sport up there in Massachusetts, and
now they get very negative marks for their fans because their fans suck.
It takes a notch. But then again, out of all these markets, are they really known for how awesome their fans are?
Oh no, their fans are not awesome. They're paid.
Yeah,
they are the most annoying fans on
all we're missing then for that conversation is Philly.
Oh, Philly's so close to how terrible. It's only because that you put Boston on that pedestal because they've won so many championships.
Yeah.
Their fans think that they are the greatest. Yo, we got to go park the car in the yard.
Wow.
We won so many championships with TB12, huh?
Wow, that's as good as your Los Angeles Dodgers ethnic.
No, that's not good either.
No, that's terrible. You're
I'm not real. That's why I'm not a thespian. I can't do
no, that's not your thing. So I think it's unanimous, though. I think we're calling it Boston out of the major markets. That's
out of the major
best sports city.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. So, guys, we want you to tell us what you think as well, too, on our social media. Go ahead and give us a follow over there on our Facebook page, AVG Sports Guys, or also shoot us an email, too, about your thoughts.
Yeah, they're going to tell you where to park the car, Eric.
Got to park the car in the yard with Smart Park.
Wow. Time for lightning standings at this point in the show. We're doing the NHL, like I mentioned earlier on. And, Eric, you want to take the East or the West, man? What are you feeling?
I'll do the East.
I like it.
We'll do it by divisions.
Okay, sweet. Let's start in the Pacific on the West Coast, and then we'll move to the Central on the Western Conference. Starting at the bottom are the Kings out of that big market we were mentioning, LA, and they are living in the basement at 27-35, followed by the Sharks, 29-35. You got the Ducks, 28-32. That's only a total of 65 points after their 9 overtime losses. Coyotes are 33-28, having an okay year for those guys. 74 points, 76 points, for the Canucks at 35-27. The Flames out of Calgary at 36-27 at 79 points. 82 points go to the Oilers at 37-24, and the Golden Knights sitting on top of that division at 38-24. Losses and 84 points. Now, hopping over to the Central, as I mentioned, the Blackhawks are down at the bottom on that one, but they still have 70 points, so still kind of riding the bubble, but they lost last night to the first place team, as I'll mention here in a little bit. But so their chances are looking a little more grim. The Jets have 76 points, 35-28. Preds have 34-26 as a record with 76 points. 77 points go to the Minnesota Wild at 35-27. 37-23 for the Dallas Stars, and the Avs out of Colorado, 41-19. An excellent record this year, 90 points, and just notching above them at 92 points total for the season. 41-18, the St. Louis Blues, who did sweep that season record, or series, rather, against the Blackhawks.
Oh, good for them. I didn't actually know that
good for them.
That they swept them. So perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna start in the Metropolitan Division, and I'm gonna work my way from the bottom to the top here. So we have the New Jersey Devils coming in with 68 points at 28-12. I'm not gonna do all wins and losses here. So New York Rangers coming in at 76 points. New York Islanders 79 points. Also the Carolina Hurricanes with 79. Columbus Blue Jackets 81 points. Pittsburgh Penguins 84 points. And the team with the longest active win streak at 9 games is the Philadelphia Flyers, who have been really hot lately. Obviously, 9 wins in a row. They are 41-20-7 with 89 points and second in the Metropolitan, only behind the Washington Capitals with 90 points. Moving over to the Atlantic Division, we still have the Detroit Red Wings down there at the bottom with a whopping 39 points. Tyler and I did set an over-under on their goal differential at 154.5. 154. They're currently at negative 119. So we'll see. We'll see where they finish.
119. It's just getting worse. Yeah, it's really bad.
Senators 62 points, Sabres 68 points, Canadians 71 points, Panthers 78 points, Maple Leafs 79 points. Coming up way big discrepancy here from 79 jumping up to 92 points. Tampa Bay Lightning and the best team in the NHL. Eastern Conference and in the NHL, the Boston Bruins. 98 points.
There you go. So that is the Lightning standings for the NHL. And by the way, we also may have missed a segment. Eric, we usually do a Who You Got.
Yeah.
I think I hopped right over it.
You did. You hurdled it.
I was ready for
like
the standings,
an
man.
Olympic runner in Japan.
Yeah.
Who may not be there.
Yeah, might be August.
We'll see.
I know, and we were talking about that headline earlier on. So, still, I mean, maybe the biggest butthole in sports is Corona.
Could still be coronavirus. We'll see.
Maybe
we'll see.
We haven't talked about that. We could announce like butthole of the year in sports.
Might be Corona with.
Might already, I
think we have the scare behind it. So, who you got? We have a really fun one today. It's an elimination
I've been looking forward to this
pro sport rule.
Yeah.
I put down a bunch, just some ones to throw out there. Pass ball strikeout, the college basketball possession arrow, baseball managers wearing uniforms, the OT loser in hockey still gets a point, things like dugout warnings instead of just throwing people out.
Okay, all right. So
those are just some
what